I'm not surprised. It's been talked about, it's been speculated about, and I think when you look at the prospects that we got and bringing back Adam Warren, I'm not surprised the deal was done.
You had talked about how much of a luxury it was to have those three guys in the back end of the bullpen. What do you think of your bullpen now? How do you adjust to not having Chapman?
Well, that's something we're going to have to talk about. We're going to move Miller back to the ninth, and Dellin will be the eighth, and then how we choose to use Adam. Part of the thing that we have struggled really in the last month and a half or so is the bridge, and the job that like Greeny did yesterday could be a job that maybe we think is right for Adam in a sense. We could also start him because I know he's built up, and those innings are extremely important, and we need to get better at that.
Cashman said he would leave it up to you and to Larry as far as whether or not Warren is a starter or a bullpen. Do you have in your mind, bullpen guy, do you have in your mind what he is right now?
No, I think it's something Larry and I have to sit down and talk to him about as well. When he gets here, I think he'll be here probably tomorrow. He's built up enough that he could be a starter. We're going to have to figure out what is best, and we'll talk with him as well.
Do you feel like you need more of those multiple inning guys in the bridge role? Whether it's Severino.
Yeah, I think it'd be really helpful. Guys that can go through a lineup, one time. Give us 3 innings in a sense. Because I think we have to be somewhat careful with Dellin and Andrew. We've had a lot of close games lately, and they've been used a lot. We chose to give them a day off yesterday. We'll see how they are today, but I think that role is really important.
Joe, with Matanzas, Miller, and Chapman, you had sort of a designated 7, 8, 9. Could you, with Dellin and Andrews 8, 9, could you see not having a 7th inning guy and just sort of mixing and matching the guys you have?
That, and I think you could see using guys for multiple innings, maybe the 6th and 7th. That's the same guy, sort of thing. Maybe mixing and matching a little bit, but not a lot. And like I said, what Green has done a couple times is really helpful.
Joe, any concerns about Severino's inexperience as a reliever? Or?
No, Kenny, I'll try to do it to where try to get him in to start an inning.
Yeah.
Kind of like I tried to do with Greeny, but didn't quite work out that way. But I think he's got that mentality he'll handle.
Joe, you had some concerns about Severino when you sent him down, what he was specifically trying to work on. And even just a couple of starts ago, those were still there.
Concerns, correct?
Yeah, so what has he done? What have you got it's pleasing to believe he's better?
Well, his slider has gotten, better. I wouldn't say it's exactly where we want it, and I wouldn't say his location is exactly where we want it, but it's a guy that we feel that right now could come in and go through a lineup with the velocity that he has and the stuff that he has. And I think location and being a 3-pitch guy becomes a lot more into play when you're starting than it does as a bullpen.
Joe, is this a need with Severino? Is this a need-based move
Yes.
today?
Yeah, it was neat too. We don't have any length. And obviously, if you're in a situation where you don't need them, you surely don't want to put Dellin and Andrew in. You don't have Greeny today. So it's somewhat of a need too.
Is it possible?
Today?
We're day by day. We've always been that way with our bullpen in a sense.
You have another move to make tomorrow.
Yeah.
So is it possible that it's
We'll
one day thing?
see what we need.
So you guys have had Alex as your DH against lefties. He's not in there today. Is there a reason for that?
I'm trying to keep Carlos going. Carlos has played every day. This is be his 11th day in a row. Keuchel's been pretty tough on Alex, but it's more about trying to keep Carlos in the lineup every day, and I feel that this is the best way.
So DH the last 2, right?
Yeah, and there's a good chance he'll DH every day here until we get through the 13 games.
Is his hamstring?
No, that's no problem. I don't want it to be a problem, but it's not a problem. It has not been a problem. He feels good, but it's just a way to keep him going.
So when you first made the decision to just DH Alex against lefties, you talked about just letting him know sort of where he stood. Do you talk to him when you have a lefty on the mound? And
already done.
Joe,
How did you How did you feel like the message was received from Alex?
Well, he wants to be in there. I get that. I don't want a player who's content not to be playing.
contending teams typically do not trade their closers mid-season. Do you feel like you still are a contending team, and you think they need to hear that from you or from the front office?
I mean, it will be made evident to them that, hey, we're still in this. We got to keep fighting. Yeah, would we like to be in a better position? Sure, but there's a lot of teams that like to be in our position too. So, yeah, we lost a good player, but we're still in this. And you know, when I look at our club, a lot of our struggles have been offensively. You know, not so much the back end of games or our bullpen. It's been a lot offensively. So a big thing, we gotta have to hit.
Do you feel like this week is critical leading up to the deadline?
I think it's very important. Sure.
Just in terms of what direction the front office is.
Sure. I mean, but like I said, we're not in control of that. We can only control what we do on the field.
Alex spoke about how his sabermetrics have been improving and he's encouraged by that. Has he talked that over with you, the things he's trying to do differently? Do you see progress?
He has tried to make some adjustments, some mechanical adjustments, and I'm aware of those.
It seemed to be cool on the idea of needing to, or pursuing a middle of the order bat. If you don't make any more deals, anything to improve the offense, I mean, do you have enough offense to be contender?
I think they're capable of doing it. I do. You know, it's being probably more consistent. You know, putting 4 or 5 runs on the board every night. Those type of things. I do believe the ability is in there, but we have not been consistent over our 98 games, and I see why people might doubt that.
Joey, in terms of Alex playing as a lefty today, is this a difference than when you first made that first move where you said he basically wasn't going to play against righties?
No, you know, like I said, with Carlos playing all these days, and Keuchel's been tough on Alex.
Yes.
I mean, you look at it; it's been tough. I just felt that I want to keep Carlos going. Play him these next 3 days. I'm not sure what we're seeing in Tampa yet. I don't know. I haven't looked that far ahead, but I want to make sure I can get him in the lineup every day.
Sure, but I guess if you don't play against lefties, doesn't play
Yeah,
against
well,
righties, I mean, doesn't play
it's
defense,
a
and
day,
wasn't
but-
playing against.
Yeah.
He pitched it for Hicks yesterday. I mean, how does he get it?
Right. Well, I mean, his time's going to come. He's going to get more chances.
Is it going to be hard to play Carlos in the field in Tampa?
You know, I think I can play him there. I wouldn't play him there all 3. I mean, I think we have night day would be my guess, but just also the turf.
Right. Yeah.
And then we're going to New York, and he's going to play when we play in the Mets. So
The rest of the lineup changes all just because there's a lefty on the mound, obviously.
yes.
What is it about? I mean, Keuchel's been tough on a lot of you guys, but what is it in particular that you don't like about the matchup with Alex?
Well, I watch the at bats. Go watch the at bats. But I'm telling you, it's more about keeping Carlos on the field. It's more.